Okay, hi. So this is the second day in the retreat, and we did our first Ayahuasca ceremony last night. And wow, wow, it was a thoroughly enjoyable experience, and I'm very glad I did it. So where do I start? From the second I took the Ayahuasca, and it was served to us in a little shot glass. I took a moment to appreciate what I was about to consume, and was aware of the sincerity of the intention of what I was aiming to achieve, and the overall intention, what I wanted to achieve. I had that in my mind, and there was a list of things that I wanted to work on. But I wasn't really sure exactly how I was going to go about it. I just had faith in the medicine and it was going to go where it went. So the second I took the shot, it sat in my chest, right there. And over the next 10-15 minutes, it just slowly worked its way down into my stomach. And as soon as it hit my stomach, I felt this sort of cold ball just sort of explode. And it just integrated into the whole part of my body, from top to toe. And I just remember thinking, I need to be on all fours. Just something said to me, I need to be on all fours. So I did, and I think it just assisted in the integration of the medicine. And next thing I know, I'm lying on my back and I'm just looking up, smiling. And then I could feel my body starting to feel drunk, similar to the experience of when I've taken mushrooms in the past, along with being drunk. And that was the feeling. And then I got some visuals, got quite a lot of visuals, and that was very nice. I remember looking up at one point and looking at everyone else in the room and just feeling this sense of connection with everyone, like they were my tribe, they're my team. And I remember feeling a sense of comfort that everyone was in the same boat, doing whatever we were experiencing. And I looked down and then I could just see the floor just doing this. And it felt like I was floating. And I just thought to myself, this is a good start. And then after it was well and truly, the effects were well and truly there, I just remember asking myself, what is there to learn here? What is there to learn? And I was given messages, I was given pictures, I was given stories, some of which made sense, some of which didn't, but they made sense in the end. And the Akora chanting by the shaman was just profound. The emotion and the energy and the passion that he gave during his chanting was soothing, but humbling as well. And there were many moments when I was like, what is there to learn here? What is there to learn here? And I was given something. And I mean, I've written some of them down. And one was focus on the importance of now. Stop comparing to past relationships. Take a moment in situations rather than reacting to them. The other one was read the book Power of Now. And there was one time I was given this image of this beautifully fashioned, intricately decorated palace, and which I wondered if there's anything to do with me, at which point the palace vanished and a message said, no, this is not for you, it's just nice to look at. And this one reminded me of the story of the man who he lives in a cave opposite a stone carved palace, but it's carved into the rocks. And I just remember hearing the story about this man. He was so very happy. He was very poor. He lived in a cave, but he got to wake up and look out his cave at this palace every morning. And the message for me is that we don't have to own things to be grateful for their existence. Which, yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. There was a weather storm as well during the whole process, and it was pitch black after we'd all consumed the ayahuasca. The candle went out and it was pitch black, and the only light that was coming was from the flashes of lightning, but there was no cracking of the lightning, so it was just flashes and the occasional rumble. So that the weather was just magical on top of this experience. Couldn't have asked for a better introduction, really. The group here that I'm with are fantastic, and just out of pure coincidence, the place that I decided to sit in, the Maloka, which is where we do the ceremony, at one point Jarek came over to me and he says, "You're the brave one." I said, "Oh, where's that?" And he goes, "Because you get to go first. That particular seat I'd chosen, I go first." I was like, "Sweet, excellent, happy with that." So I felt like a real honour to take the first batch of ayahuasca with the group last night. Yeah, so there was, I remember there being a stream of profoundness and messages that we're getting, and they were just running true with me, just making sense. It's been a bit of a challenge to remember them all, but I've written down the ones that I can remember. But no doubt there'll be more to come tonight. And I think for me the one thing that I do want to work on is to my engaging in the now. That's something that is evident that I want to work on. And last night during the process, there was many cases where I would just be taken from one vision straight onto another, and then straight onto another, and each of it was profound in its way. But it would be nice to stay in that one moment a little bit more and appreciate and just focus and fine tune on that message rather than jumping from one to the other, which was great. It's kind of what I guess I wanted. Fortunately, we also were given the option to do a second batch of ayahuasca last night, which I happily accepted. And by that point, when that had actually kicked in, I remember thinking, wow, this is quite strong now. And I had to do a lot of focused breathing just to get myself into a place of comfort. There was quite often I was having to shift myself into different areas, positions, just to get myself comfortable and then focus on my breathing. And that was fine. I managed that, and it wasn't uncomfortable for me. But I do remember during that process, that second process, I was so out of it by this point. I did repeat to myself, what is there to learn here? But I was so far gone, my mind just answered back and said, just shut up and enjoy it and stop thinking. And so I did. And yeah, there was just some wonderful flutes played at the end of the whole ceremony. I ended up falling asleep and spent the whole night in the Morocco, same with 2 other people. I had one of the best night's sleeps I've had in a while, so it's been an amazing first experience, and one I very much look forward to partaking in again tonight. So there we go, that's my first experience. I hope you enjoyed it.